Today you're going to be learning how to play this. This is I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, the quintessential ukulele song to learn when you're first starting to play ukulele. It's a very easy tutorial with some very, very easy chords, beginner friendly. Now we're not going to be playing what people consider the sort of on-key version, the original version of the song that's in key to what he's actually playing in the studio recorded version. We're going to be playing a beginner friendly ukulele version of this that's really, really great for you to practice, especially when you're first starting out on this wonderful instrument. This was one of the first songs I learned how to play, and this was the first chord progression I ever learned how to play, and it's the chord progression that most ukulele players learn for the first time. What's fun about it is that intro with the sliding. Forgive my friend the Raven, he likes to cause a mess. So this little intro, that little intro is something that it took me almost a year or two after learning how to play the ukulele to learn how to play, and I didn't realize that I already knew the chords to learn how to play this intro. So maybe a lot of you guys already know how to play the chords in this song, but you don't know how to play this intro, and maybe we could practice learning that today. But first we'll break down the actual chords. It's the most important part. So whether this is your first time playing an ukulele or you are a seasoned ukulele veteran, let's get into the 4 chords that you need to know to play the song. So let's start with our first chord. We've got a C. C, you basically take your index finger, this is one way to play it, and you'll put your index finger on the 3rd fret of the bottom string of the A string, and that's your C. Now you can play a C technically with any finger you want. You can do it with your middle finger, you can do it with your ring finger, you can even do it with your pinky if you really wanted to. I recommend, for the purposes of learning how to play the ukulele at first, maybe just do it with your index finger to make it easy, and support your finger from the back here, so you can do your little C dance, baby. Yeah, little C. All right, our next chord is a little bit more difficult. It's a G. It is the most challenging chord for beginners to learn how to play the ukulele. You're doing a little pyramid with your fingers, or a little triangle. That's how I like to think about it. If anybody here knows how to play a guitar, and you know how to play a D chord on the guitar, it's essentially the same as a D chord on the guitar. So you're gonna take your index finger, and you're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the C string, the 2nd string from the top. Then you're going to take your middle finger, and you're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the A string on the bottom. And then you're going to take your, am I doing this wrong? No, I'm doing it right. I second guess myself. What a great teacher. And then you're going to take your ring finger, and then you're going to put that on the 3rd fret of the E string. So you've got your C string, E string, and A string completely filled up to make this beautiful chord. G. Okay, very, very important chord for everybody to learn on the ukulele. So we've got a C already, and we got next up our G. And the next chord we're going to learn how to play is an A minor. It's very easy as well. You're just going to take your middle finger, and you're going to put it on the 2nd fret of the top string, or the G string. This is the note you want to hit. Now you may realize that my ukulele sounds a little bit different from yours, and that's because I have a low G ukulele. That means that my top string is a low G. It's a certain preference. It's a style that people like to play with. It's my preference, so it might sound a little bit different. But for the perspective of tuning and learning how to play, it's the same exact thing. It's a G just on a lower octave. All right, so your next chord is even easier. You just already take what you have here, your A minor shape, and you take your index finger and you add it to the 1st fret of the E string. And then you got your F. So all together, we've got a C chord, we've got a G chord, we've got an A minor chord, and we've got an F chord. These are the 4 chords that'll bring you to success. There's one more chord that's hidden in this song that you can learn how to play. It's optional, you don't have to do it. But in my many campfire jams that I've learned how to play this song, you can add a D in to the song. So a D is really easy as well. It's a little bit harder, but it's relatively easy. You just take your index finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger, and you squeeze them all up on the 2nd fret from bottom to top. G, C, and E will all get filled up with your D. So you can add that chord in if you want. You can also play it like this. This is one way of playing it. Or you can play it like this. You can bar it with your thumb, or you could bar it with your middle finger, can also bar with your index finger. I just like to squeeze all my fingers in there and get that nice D. Now D you only use at a certain perspective in the song when it's kind of coming up on the end of the chorus, I believe. And it goes like that. It's like right at the end of the chorus, or right before the chorus, and then it goes won't hesitate. So right before that, you'll hit that D. You get that good D. You don't have to do this chord. It's totally additional. It just adds a little bit more spice to your life if you want to do it. Okay, let's go into the intro now. Make your lives a little bit easier and teach you how to play the I'm Yours intro, and then we'll put it together with a strumming pattern. So the next thing we're gonna do is the intro of the I'm Yours sort of sliding intro. So our first thing that we need to do is we need to bar the 3rd fret of the bottom 2 strings, the E string and the A string, and slide them. And you slide by picking and sliding to the 5th fret. So we're gonna go one more time, C, basically doing a C chord, and you're picking 2 of them and sliding down to the 5th fret. And then you're gonna go straight into playing a C chord. So you're gonna go do this slide, C chord. Just like that. One more time, slide from 3rd fret to 5th fret, and slide your nice little finger right back up to the C and play a C. One more time, it sounds like this. Very easy. Now, our next slide is going to be for the G chord. So you do a slide in between every one of the chords in the song. Easy as pie. All you do is slide from the C, your 2 bottom fingers, or your 2 3rd frets on the bottom 2 strings, slide them to a 5, and then hit a G. So you're basically doing the same exact thing that you did before, just with a G chord. So just to show you what that looks like together, you do slide C, slide G. And then, obviously you need to do it a little bit faster for it to sound impressive. Okay, now our next slide is a little bit more technical, nothing crazy, you can definitely handle it. You can either slide your entire G chord shape down if you want and just pluck, but for me it's a little bit easier to just grab control of the top 2 fingers of the G. So our G is made up of 3 fingers. I just remove my middle finger and replace it here. So I have my index finger on the 2nd fret of the C string and my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. And then all I do is just slide them down too. Just like that. So you're going from your G shape, and you can just slide it down as a G. It's just a little bit more easy for me personally with control to do it like that. So all you're doing is sliding 1 fret down for both, or 2 frets down for both of them. So your ending location will be, your index finger will be on the 4th fret of the C string, and your middle finger will be on the 5th fret of the E string. And then you just jam out on a nice A minor. That's it. You just do your slide from your G. You played your G, now you're doing your slide. The A minor. Now we've got a very, very easy technicality here. No more sliding, no more moving around. All you gotta do is use your index finger and pluck what you're about to play on the F. So usually you play the F string, you add your index finger to that 1st fret to get the F. That's our chord that we play after the A minor. We do A minor and then F. So all you do before you play that F is you double tap your E string that's open before you put down that F chord. So you do, and in the middle of that 2nd tap, you're gonna do a thing that's called a hammer on. You're gonna take your index finger and you're gonna hammer it on while you've already played the chord. So while it's resonating, it's already hitting that chord. So all you have to do is play again one more time. 1, and add the finger in the middle. Again. Da, da, you just add that index finger in the middle while that chord is still ringing out, while that note is still ringing out. And then you got your F. So all together, I'll show you just the slides and then we'll put it together. You got one slide. Then you got another slide. It's your G. Then you got one more slide. That's it. That's the whole makeup. Those are all your slides. Now all you got to do is put the chords in between each one. So let's do it. We've got our slide to our 5, then C. Now we'll slide again to G. Now we'll slide again to A minor. And we'll double tap to F. Really nice. Super easy, not too difficult. Let's do the whole thing together and see what it sounds like. It's not the best sounding I'm Yours tutorial in the world. It's not the best sounding version of I'm Yours, but it's a great beginner tutorial, especially if you're just starting out on the ukulele. That's my goal on this channel, is to make you fall in love with this instrument the way that I have. So I'm going to show you guys just a quick, simple strumming pattern that you could do for the song. I'm not very good. I'm not very skilled with teaching you guys how to do ups and downs and ups and downs. And I don't really think you need to focus on it so much, especially when you're just sort of freestyling ukulele music. There's nothing official about this. So all I would say is take your index finger and learn how to sort of... You can down, up, in whatever motion feels comfortable to you, but just try to stay on this sort of beat. I recommend practicing this on the C in the beginning before you move on to the other chords. So we'll just take our C and practice on our C. And when you feel comfortable with that strumming pattern, take it and add all the rest of your chords into it. Now it'll sound like that official sort of I'm Yours ukulele tutorial kind of music. You know, it's a typical ukulele strumming pattern that most people learn how to play. I think this song sounds really, really beautiful with some sort of reggae strum where you can add a modified C, which is a more complicated one. We'll talk about it in the future. Giving you more control over the chords, allowing you to do a better sort of reggae strum. As well as adding chucks into the song will also progress sort of the feeling of this beginner song into a more magical, fluid, semi-intermediate I'm Yours. These are just some ideas for you guys to learn how to play the ukulele and have something to sort of build up on. If you come back to this tutorial in the future and you want to sort of progress in your style and how you play the ukulele, you can start off with something very basic and sort of add different strumming patterns like that reggae strum, and then eventually work on to having chucks in there as well. And all of that can be played with those beautiful 4 chords for I'm Yours and your little intro. So I hope you guys learn how to play this song. Please check the channel for other ukulele tutorials as well as shorts where I'll teach you guys how to play all this stuff in a very short, brief amount of time. I'll see you guys in the next one.